Hello and welcome to Light Soul Spirit. Every day that I'm working, I am doing something different every day for my clients. And at the moment, I'm seeing a couple of clients a day, 7 days a week. I'm extremely busy and I'm so grateful for that. And it's something that I've been manifesting. And each time I work with my client, we work in different ways. I'm connecting them to different planets. Oracle is coming through, giving them their soul history. And I'm truly, truly blessed. And it's probably confirmation for me that as much as I have a great imagination, there is no way on earth that I could do the work I'm doing if it wasn't that I'm channeling and I'm connecting to my client's galactic team. And I've just been working with my client who's overseas, and I'm working in so many different time zones. I'm getting confused. And I have her permission to share with you the most wonderful, beautiful experience that actually left me in tears. And it was so, you see, I can't even find the words. It was so moving that I would really love to share with you what took place. And as I say, I do have permission, and I would never break a confidence unless um, I had that say so that I could do so. So when my client and I connected just before, I always come into the cabin and I do all of my grounding and protecting. I connect up into source, down into Gaia, and I connected to the priestess, my priestess, and it's something that I don't normally do. And at the time I thought that was a bit odd, but I never question it. I always trust and believe. And then we started talking, and neither of us really knew where we were going to go, other than the fact that my client had been nudged several times to get back in touch with me. And Oracle came forward and was given information about holding on to ancestral pain along the maternal line, the matriarch. And that was really where we went. So I always open up and I allow the information to come to me as to how we're meant to be working. And we started where there were two golden thrones in front of us. And I'd already been channeling Ishra, and Ishra is the divine daughter, Palladian daughter. And I know that she works in gold, so that made absolute sense to me. So there were two gold thrones, and I walked hand in hand with my client, and we sat down. She sat on the right throne, I sat on the left. And then we called in all of the priestesses and we called in all of the goddesses so that we could create an initiation of my client into priestess energy, connecting her to her inner priestess. So we called in all of the goddesses and we were in a temple and they were surrounding us, but it wasn't just one layer around us. It was like 6 deep. It was just full of divine feminine energy. And we called in pretty much everyone. Everyone was there. It was absolutely beautiful. And then I got up from where I was sitting, and the priestess then came forward, Ishra came forward, and placed on her head a crown. And within the crown was a huge opal. And as much as I connect with crystals through my work, I'm not a crystal expert in any shape or form. It's not what I do. And when I looked up the meaning of crystals, crystals about the third eye is about connecting you to your expansive self. So that made absolute sense. So they placed this golden crystal opal crown on her head, and then placed on her finger, on her wedding finger, a gold band. And then we started doing the initiation. So working with Ishra, I'm always working in the gold energy, and I struggle to find the words in a 3D language that's not light language, because the gold energy is such high frequency. It's such unbelievable coding. And we started coding and coding in this gold energy. And we asked my client to expand her heart, because in so many of her lifetimes, she had closed her heart down because she was very much in the entrapment of slavery. and also very much around many, many lifetimes within religious indoctrination. And we've been working on this through some of our sessions together. So we expanded the heart, and when we came through into the heart, this is where she was storing her ancestral pain. This is where she was storing her matriarchal pain, the mother pain. And as I looked, I could see all of her ancestors going way, 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 way back, stepping forward for release. And then, as always for me, my dragons come in. As you know, I work with so many different dragons, and my gold dragon came in, and why wouldn't they? And the gold dragon came in and was clearing down the ancestral line, which was hugely emotional for both of us. I mean, I could feel that pain. I could feel not being heard, not being seen, not being allowed to step into their power, their sovereignty, disempowerment. But also, I could see the children who had either not come through on the earth or who had been taken too soon, and they were holding on to that pain as well within my client's ancestral line. And then down comes the purple and violet flame, which is the flame of Saint Germain. And I knew at that point that my client's ancestor needed to step forward out of their physical body, which is held in the energetics, and place all of their pain and their energy into the violet flame, which is for transmutation. So I called upon all of the ancestors, and we placed them into the violet flame. And as each of them almost shed their skin, out came their beautiful soul light. And they were just beams of light out of the physicality. And then I knew that I needed to integrate those ancestors into source light, because my client couldn't carry that ancestral pain any longer. So I always work, when I'm sending energy back into source, I always work with Our Lady of Guadalupe. She connected with me last year, and she's always my entrance for creating corridors of golden light, and called upon all of the angels, and we actually integrated all of those ancestors back into source light. It was, for me, very overwhelming to hold on to that. And as we are doing that work, I'm very much aware of all of the goddess energy, all of the priestess energy around me, supporting us in the work that we were doing. And then once I knew that they were all integrated back into source, we then came back into that flame, and the flame actually changed to a golden flame because we were working with gold. So the flame turned into, and I've never seen gold flames before, but absolutely beyond powerful and incredible. And then my client was asked to step into the flame so that she could also disrobe from her outer energy of holding on to that ancestral pain, holding on to her programming of keeping small, of not being seen, of fear of being seen, fear of stepping outside of that indoctrination, and cleared all of that energy for her there. As we were clearing that energy, the most magnificent lion stepped forward into the heart space. And I questioned with the guides and the cosmic souls that I was working with whether this was a spirit animal, which sometimes my clients are given. It didn't feel like it. And they said, no, this is her courage to integrate into her physicality. And so she integrated the energy of the lion, the courage, the strength, the tenacity, the roar of the lion. And we coded that all the way into her DNA. And then when that was finished and everything was integrated, we then brought forward, and I do bring forward many times for my clients, their angelic wings, and we actually code them into the spine, and they bring them forward. And many clients have different colors, and reflective of their journey and reflective of their star beings and the planets that they've worked and lived on. But these were very, very different. These were absolute pure gold wings, which we then coded in the spine, and we worked from the bottom of the spine up, which was significant in terms of encoding. And then I stepped away and I reviewed, and I was told to close the heart center down, which I do. And we closed it right down and we covered it in like a golden elixir. And then as I stepped away, placed around my wrist and also my client's wrist was a golden rope connecting us both as my initiation gift to her of initiating her into her priestess, into the sisterhood. Just unbelievable. And then as I stepped away, all of the goddesses and the priestesses came forward and placed their hands over my client to channel energy. And also I received that energy as well. And we simply stayed in that moment, allowing those energies to flow, allowing the gold to flow, allowing us to connect into our priestess and our inner goddess. And then stepping away, breaking connection. But for me, I was overwhelmed in, first of all, being able to facilitate her connecting into her priesthood, into her priestess, into her goddess, into her divine feminine, but also to be recognized as part of that group, which I had known, I'd already connected into my priestess, but to be actually physically in that circle was something that was so moving, was so heartfelt, that I simply had tears in my eyes. I couldn't speak because the energy and the connection that we have within that group is beyond words. There are no words. It was as though we have been gifted something so magical, so beautiful and wondrous, that we connect back into our priestess, our knowing, and we connect back into our soul. So it was the most phenomenal experience that I had, and I am blessed and I am humbled. And, you know, I kept saying to my client, thank you so much. She had been nudged to see me for a week or so, and it wasn't until that the nudging became quite urgent that she contacted me. But it's about listening to our intuition. Clearly, that connection needed to be made for her. She needed to be able to let go of that ancestral pain which was holding her back, and she needed to step into her divine light. And with the courage of the lion, and with all of the gold and the opal, which is her gateway into her multidimensionality, I know that she can now do that. And I know that we are inextricably connected. We have the call between us, and it was just beyond words. So I really wanted to share that with you. I never know how I work. I'm, as I say, connecting my clients to planets. We are doing healing, we're doing coding, we're removing energy, we're implanting energy. I never know where we go. And it's all with my light language. And it is something that I can't imagine not doing. It's so intertwined with who I am that it allows me to stand in my truth. It allows me to talk about my work. It allows me to bypass all of that fear of being seen, of being thought that, you know, you're completely mad. It makes no difference to me because my connection into my cosmic soul is so integrated now that I am just being taken further and further into my blueprint and into my multidimensionality. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about that. If you're connected to your priestess energy, it is beyond powerful. Use your power, shine your light, and never dull yourself down, never put yourself down, never worry about what anyone is thinking. This lifetime is to stand tall, it's to shine, it's to shine the light for others to awaken and hold that space. And that's certainly what I'm doing within my blueprint. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you for allowing me to share that with you, because it is just the most beautiful healing we have. And every healing is stunning and wonderful, but this sort of got me right in the heart. So thank you, and thank you, thank you.